Alright, I'll admit it. I was not hyped for Marvel Zombies. I know. What a shocking reveal, considering I am probably not alone in that conversation. When they announced it, and it was later revealed to only be 4 episodes long, I just rolled my eyes in shame. But then the trailer dropped, and that got me pumped more than I thought it would. I finally sat down to watch it, way later than everyone else, and yeah, I was wrong. This show blew me away. Not only was it way better than I expected it to be, but it might actually be one of the best things that Marvel Studios has done in years, maybe ever. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly why Marvel Zombies works, how it caught me completely off guard, and why you might want to give it a serious second look, whether you are late to the party like me or still on the fence to watch it. If you are late to the party or still on the fence, it's not your fault, because let me tell you, the marketing campaign for this show is one of the worst Marvel has ever done. Quite frankly, you might as well call it for what it is, because it barely exists as far as I'm concerned. As a marketing guy myself who appreciates when a show or movie embraces its marketing, they really fumbled the bag on this one. The one and only main trailer that they released to the public only 3 to 4 weeks before the show dropped was spectacular. Probably one of the best trailers Marvel has ever made, one that embraced the personality and metal vibe of zombies using the rock music that so many people who love this subgenre of horror can get into anytime something new comes out. It was filled with personality, and yet the rest of the marketing campaign was devoid of that. You barely saw more than 2 promos at a time. Why they decided to also drop this show a day after one of their biggest shows of the year had its season 1 finale with Alien Earth, and to not even try and consider releasing it around the Halloween holiday in October is puzzling to say the least. They had the potential to really go for it with getting people excited for the show and be confident that people will really like it, which is the majority of what the reactions are so far. This is just a little bit of a rant from me, and I just hope that Marvel moving forward does better next time with this kind of stuff. But that's neither here nor there. I know what you all are here to listen to me talk about. I thought this show was a blast from start to finish, to the point where I really did find myself questioning, is this one of the best things that Marvel has ever done? Me and one of my good buddies had so many nerdy conversations about what these 4 episodes did, and I can confidently say that that is the greatest thing the show has done. It's able to spark discussion around the what-ifs of this world that we find all of our fan-favorite characters in, because after all, this is still the what-if universe taking place after that very episode of What If in Season 1 back when the show first started. Fans have been waiting years to see if that storyline was going to be picked up for something. Given that certain characters show up that have been present in many Marvel projects the last couple of years, it was maybe the perfect time to do it so that it can cohesively tie in the rest of the universe. Through the lens of these characters, Marvel Zombies is able to combine the most violent and action-packed moments that the brand has seen across all of the IP since it took off in 2009 with the original Iron Man, and infuse that in with a narrative and characters that actually take swings to tell a story where you can still root for our heroes to survive and find a way to restore the world to where it once was. And that's maybe the most interesting aspect of the story. You've probably heard many people say it already, but everything about the journey our characters find themselves in feels so hopeless every time they go to any new location, because there's always some big horde of zombies ready to attack, or any one of the infected Avengers and hero characters are ready to hunt them down. We follow 2 main groups of characters in the journey, one featuring Kamala Khan, Kate Bishop, Riri Williams aka Ironheart, who then go on to join with Red Guardian, Yelena, and Moon Knight Blade. There is no question this was the best group of the main 2. I really did enjoy watching all these characters, especially Moon Knight Blade, which is a what-if scenario that I think I would love to see be made into a movie, but at this rate, Blade in general may never be seen on the big screen, but I digress. I just hate how we haven't gotten his live-action movie with Mahershala Ali yet, but don't get me wrong, every single thing that this character did in the show was cool as fuck, but I just wish that we got the live-action version as well. This was a group that had a lot of fun moments, emotion and tragedy all inside of it. We've already seen these characters in live action, and so we've had an idea of what they are about, and for the most part, we want to follow their journey, especially someone like Kamala Khan, who is basically the main character in the show. She's the heart, she is the sadness, and she is the hopefulness all packed in one that can be shattered at any moment, but also she can fight like hell to not give up. I didn't find this too much within the second group of characters, which is comprised of people like Shang-Chi, his friend Katie, Jimmy Woo, the Death Dealer, also from the the Shang-Chi movie, along with a few other random people who made it out of San Francisco when the zombie outbreak had begun. They all basically become a bandit group within the apocalypse 5 years after it started, and like I just said, I didn't find this group all that compelling given who's inside of it. Not to say that I have anything against Shang-Chi or Jimmy Woo or Katie, I just thought this group was a bit too comedic, and it felt like it tonally was in another show. That's certainly one of the aspects that makes the show not perfect in my eyes. I found that comedically, it wasn't all completely there, and much of the voice acting was a bit stiff. At some point along the journey, these two groups, along with Scott Lang and Peter Parker from the What If episode, combine with each other, and after that, it becomes even bigger and more tragic with each new location that they go to. One of the main components of the story is that they have to get a potential cure to New Asgard and get it into space, and the main zombie antagonists who are hunting them down to stop it is Hawkeye, Okoye, Abomination, the last half of Captain America, and all are being led by Scarlet Witch, the Queen of the Dead herself. The action and stakes that follow these characters through all 4 episodes of the journey as they try to avoid them is just so entertaining. The action is so elevating and intense that because there are stakes to this mission and weight to so many of the deaths that follow them, you realize that this isn't just a 4-episode series that they threw together and didn't care about the results that followed. I could tell that the people behind the show actually wanted to tell a compelling story. The idea that you can follow all these superhuman and cosmic-driven characters who could just as easily kill every zombie on the planet without cracking a sweat, and you feel for them as they start losing the battles, takes embracing the material to a whole new level. I get that zombies as a concept can get stale for a lot of people, especially with where we've seen it go in the last 10 to 15 years, but this is such a cool way to utilize them. When you have actual heroes be turned into zombies and become a challenge for our main characters to fight, it just elevates the hopelessness that they have to win, because with every new character that gets turned or killed off, it makes the battle even harder, but also more emotional for them to realize that they have to kill something they once cared about so dearly. That's where zombies can be executed so well, instead of just being generic for generic's sake. If Marvel can do more stuff like this in the future, it's only going to build on the brand even more than where it's at right now. Now, I do want to talk spoilers, specifically for the ending, so you have been warned if you haven't fully seen the show yet. After New Asgard becomes another dead end, and they realize that even the Nova Corps doesn't want them to leave space, our remaining surviving characters led by Kamala, Valkyrie, Spider-Man, Shang-Chi, and others make their last stand at Kamar-Taj against the Scarlet Witch and her undead horde. Bruce Banner, in the coolest what if of the entire show, has now become Infinity Hulk, acting as a vessel for the combined power of the Infinity Stones and their residual energy after T'Challa threw Thanos into the vibranium core of Wakanda. Wanda is trying to seize that power, which would basically end the fight right then and there. Our surviving characters do their best to fight it off, but it's all too late as they are eventually overrun, and Wanda takes a hold of Hulk and offers Kamala the choice to join her. In what feels like a shocking decision, Kamala actually does join her, and in doing so, a giant explosion engulfs the planet and the surrounding space around it. Kamala wakes up in her bedroom back in Jersey, apparently back to a normal world where Riri Williams and Kate Bishop are alive, and the zombie apocalypse seems to have been undone. During a day out with them, Kamala starts seeing glitches in her vision. Riri appears in them fighting zombies and is warning Kamala that she is trapped in an illusion. Kamala realizes that she didn't save the world and she surrendered it to Wanda, and like how she did in WandaVision, has created that illusion to make everything look happy and clean. It cuts to black after that with the biggest cliffhanger of all cliffhanger endings, and when I tell you that I just sat there for like 5 to 10 minutes with my mouth wide open as to what I just watched, I couldn't believe that they actually did that. Given that many of the supporting heroes appear to have died or have been zombified in the final battle, and we didn't fully see anyone else survive, I think it's safe to assume that Kamala making that choice will cause her to live a more tragic and lonely rest of her life. I'm not saying that this could be where it all ends and we don't get another season, but if that's truly where they do end this story, that is one of the ballsiest things that Marvel has ever done. To end a story like this in the most heartbreaking way possible and not have any continuation to it afterwards is insane. That is, at the end of the day, if they choose to not follow it up. So many of our remaining heroes are gone now, and so it makes you wonder if there is anyone else left out there that is alive that could help get Kamala out besides Riri. I don't believe for a second that the filmmakers behind the show would put that in there if it wasn't an idea in place for it to continue on in a second season. Marvel, Please, for the love of God, make it happen. I am so desperately in need to want to see more, and I hope that you do not wait 2 to 3 years to give it to us. Marvel Zombies was such a massive surprise. Given where I've grown up with watching and consuming zombie-driven entertainment in video games, television, and other movies, this just warmed my heart through each episode. And if we end up getting more in the future, I will be there for it. And there you have it. That is my commentary and analysis. What did you all think of the show if you've seen it? And finally, what was your favorite moment in all 4 episodes? Do you think there is a possibility for a second season, and how can it be resolved? Leave your comments down below with your answers. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new here, and please turn on that notification bell. I'm trying to build an awesome film community on here, and your support would be appreciated. That's a wrap, folks. I hope everyone here has a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all soon for the next video.